Joe, Awesome Joe, and here I am drinking my vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. That's actually apple juice. It's pretty good though. Enjoy it very much. Hi there everybody, Awesome Joe here. Just letting you guys know that I went ahead and finished watching the newest and latest and the very last of Daniel Craig's James Bond 007, No Time to Die. It's just out in theaters, and I'm going to do my very best to hold my tongue to spoilers to this movie, because quite normally I do like to throw out spoilers and talk about whatever movie I'm talking about, but this one in particularly, I very do encourage everyone to go out to the theater and watching this, because this movie was supposed to be coming out close to 2 years ago, but because of the global pandemic, many movies were delayed until certain times, and this one in particularly was one of the first ones. This was supposed to be released back in March of 2020, then it got pushed to November of 2020, and then it came to where it was going to be sometime earlier this year, and now here we are in October, finally getting this movie, the movie that we never thought we'd ever get to see, but here it is, finally, and for James Bond fans, including myself, have gotten the chance to go to our local theaters and check this movie out, and it is fantastic. I gotta say, a very phenomenal movie. And it's very well worth the wait, too. You know what? I enjoyed that apple juice so much. I'm going to drink a little bit more here. I'm promising you it's not a vodka martini. It looks like a vodka martini, but it's not. It's just very delicious. Having a blast with this. But yeah, this is Daniel Craig's last James Bond movie. From what I heard, the last movie, Spectre, was supposed to be his final James Bond movie. But it appears that there happens to have been one more story that would have to feature the appearance of Daniel Craig coming back one more time. And I actually dig this title. I love the title, No Time to Die. It feels very James Bondish. I really do enjoy the title. It does have that feel of being part of the James Bond world. And I love it how it's just so canon and just so beautiful and well put. The story is very... it has a lot of depth to it, and you really do get to enjoy it through and through. This movie is actually 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and as much as you can recognize the length of that film being a very long movie, you're not bored, you're not exhausted by the whole entire thing. You are actually entertained and enjoying the entire film through and through from beginning to end. Quite normally, whenever I go to a movie theater and watch whatever newest movie is out, there's a time when, yes, I do have to go use the restroom. I did not have a bathroom break at all throughout this movie, and it's surprising too, because I had a very large cup of soda having to drink throughout the entire movie that I never felt like I had to go. I was enjoying the movie all the way and never really had 1 ounce of myself saying, oh, I'm bored. Oh, when is this movie going to end? Oh, the movie is so long. Excuse me. You know, when is this ever going to kick itself off and, you know, get more interesting? The movie itself already is interesting enough as it is. The movie is directed by Cary Joji Fukunawa. I think that's how you say it. These names I'm just so terrible at these names. I mean, why can't we just ever get any normal names for me to pronounce? It always puts me in a complicated position, but that's my fault. I should have acknowledged more as to how these pronunciations of the names are to be properly to be pronounced. But that's the closest I can get. If I said it wrong, let me know, and we'll go from there. So yeah, Daniel Craig coming back one more time. And we do, and it's not just to say, oh, well, he's saying that this is his final film, but yet we get another James Bond film a couple more years down the road. No, they made sure that this is the final one. And like I said, I'm not giving away any spoilers, but there's a lot of hints and situations that occur in this movie that give you the feel of knowing that this is the final James Bond movie for Daniel Craig. Now, we don't know if this movie is going to extend itself, going further with this storyline. It does appear to be that this book has finally come to a close. With all 5 of these movies, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and now here we are, No Time to Die. The villain, Saffron, is played by Rami Malek. I do think that Rami Malek is a terrific actor. I do think that Rami Malek is a perfect choice to play a James Bond villain. With that said, and these two coming together finally within this James Bond movie, I'd have to say that I find that there should have been more of Rami Malek in this movie. I'm not saying that he was terrible. I just find that the acting capabilities that he has in store for himself was not really expressed in this movie the way that I have anticipated him to being. As everyone will remember him in Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, he just did a phenomenal job in that movie, and then him having to bring his acting skills into this movie. I wouldn't say that this character is what I would call my most favorite James Bond villain of all time. I actually admire more of Lashif from Casino Royale. That's one of my favorites. But to think of this as it's very hard to come up with a James Bond villain nowadays, but they really do come with some very different perspectives as to what they would want to express in these movies. So I give credits for them for trying, and I was really looking forward to seeing Rami Malek's portrayal as a James Bond villain in this movie. You get some certain vibes, but it's not fully expressed in the way that I feel that Rami Malek has the capabilities of doing. Madeline, played by Léa Seydoux, at least how you say it. She's from the recent movie and is back in this one. Great getting to seeing her again. She has more depth to her character in this film. And there's more of an expansion of her character as well that is being expressed in this movie. Miss Money, played by Naomi Harris, is back as well. Phenomenal actress. We just finished getting to watching her do some of her portrayal performances in Venom Let There Be Carnage, so it's always a pleasure to getting to seeing more of Naomi Harris. Very brilliant and talented actress. Can never get enough of her. She's a phenomenal woman, and I can never get enough of her. She's a great actress. She's very, very talented, and hoping to getting to seeing more of her in future James Bond films as to what they intend to do with the franchise. And then speaking of expanding this franchise, we also got the return of M, played by Ralph Fiennes. Love Ralph Fiennes. Anything that you have Ralph Fiennes in, I am more than happy to go out and watch. Except for Made in Manhattan. Made in Manhattan was not really my favorite out of the bunch. You get Q coming back, played by Baron Wishaw, is also returning. He plays Q tremendously awesome. I love his portrayal of the character Q. Jeffrey Wright coming back as Felix. It's great getting to seeing him once more again in this movie. And Jeffrey Wright is just a huge actor right now in the world of Hollywood. He has so many projects going on, having to finishing up with the Batman coming out in March, and then we just recently got to see his voice talents on Disney Plus's What If, and then getting to see him here one more time with another James Bond flick. And then newcomers coming into this movie as well. We got Nomi, which is our modern-day 007, played by Lashana Lynch. And we kind of remember her in a recent film that we all watched, which was Captain Marvel as Rambeau. So great getting to see her, because I was scratching my head through the movie and I seen her, and I'm asking myself, I know I've seen her somewhere before, and where have I seen her? And boom, there she was. Of course it was her. I couldn't really put my finger on as to where I've seen her from, but then I finally figured out once the movie was over with, and I was trying to put bits and pieces together to finding out as to where have I seen her from, and then boom, that's right, Captain Marvel. Duh. Then another character, Logan, played by Billy Magnuson, and yeah, he's one of those guys that are like puts a huge question mark on. I know I've seen him in several projects. I can't really name any off at the top of my head, but this is a really big, phenomenal cast. I really do enjoy watching this this group of people putting this film into development and making such a masterpiece. What a great way in having to ending the Daniel Craig 5-film James Bond films. It's great getting to seeing the traditional watch being part of this. We haven't really gotten to seeing that. We see that in so many different adaptations of the James Bond character throughout the franchise, using his gadget watch, and it's fun getting to seeing that. There are some moments in the movie where I felt it was really funny because it's just some moments that I could relate to. I went to watch this movie with my aunt, and she even asked me. She asked me, "What's so funny? Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Well, it's because that part, I can relate to that. It's very funny. It's just funny in how it's compatible, and I can understand that. So it was fun. It's great to know that I can at least throw some few chuckles here and there, even though that this is a serious film. And like I said, the ending is just phenomenal. There's some aspects of the film through and through that can really hint the ideas as to where this movie was leading itself towards, but I never really thought that it would lead it to what had happened in the movie, and then it did happen, and I just couldn't believe it, because the music in this movie is being played by Hans Zimmer. I have not heard Hans Zimmer's music in a long time, and he is just a phenomenal composer. And getting to see him doing some James Bond scores, man, he can really just hit it right there, man. He's just phenomenal. I really did admire his work. I always listen to his stuff. He's just a phenomenal composer, and there's never a time when I could say, oh, well, that's a very terrible score that he just made. No. Hans Zimmer can do it all, man. I mean, he's just a really great composer, and for what he did in this movie, made the movie just so much more epic, so much more entertaining. And to come to think of it, this is actually the first and only James Bond movie I have ever encountered in a movie theater. I've never gone to see James Bond in a movie theater before. Never. I was thinking about it before I recorded this video and asked myself, have I ever? No, I haven't. This is the first time I've ever watched James Bond on the big screen. So it was great getting to doing that, because it was such a great experience, having to knowing that, like I said, this is the final movie, and we don't know what's going to happen with the James Bond franchise after this. Are they going to continue on with it, or are they just going to reboot the entire thing once more again? Because these Daniel Craig movies are more of a down-to-earth, feels much more realistic compared to what Pierce Brosnan did before Daniel Craig was picked to resurface the entire franchise in a different direction. So this one was much more down-to-earth, and I actually admired it very much. They did stuff like that when they did Batman Begins with Christian Bale, and a few other franchises that decided to reboot it to make it feel more down-to-earth and more relatable to realistic terms. So I had a lot of fun with this movie. It was a great, excellent, fantastic time. So like I said, no spoilers here. I'm not going to be mentioning anything out there. I really do encourage everyone who is a James Bond fan to go out there and check this out in a theater. I don't think it's popping up in any streaming services, and if they are, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, okay, well, let me rephrase that. If you are still not comfortable of going out to the theaters because of all the situations that occurred last year and are still going on to this day, then okay, go ahead and watch it on your local streaming services if it's out there. But this is meant to be a theatrical experience. I really do encourage everyone to go out there and experience it the way that it was anticipated to. And because I know that next week I'm watching Halloween Kills. That's the one I'm waiting for, baby. And once it comes out, oh my god, man, that's one that I cannot miss out watching in a theater. Because I remember watching the first one, and I just couldn't get enough of it. It was what I wanted out of a horror movie, and I really am hoping that I get the same plus more in this next Halloween movie. So it's gonna be really interesting and fun. So, but yeah, this movie, No Time to Die. Great movie. I really do encourage all of the ones, because for me, I'm not really a huge James Bond fan compared to Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is my number one. I can never stop with Mission Impossible. Everybody knows I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, and but when it comes to James Bond being out there, yeah, I gotta go and watch this baby, and I did. I had fun. I loved it. I want to see more. I wish it didn't end, but it did. Here we are. So, Rotten Tomatoes went ahead and rated this movie an 84%, and for me, I loved it even more, giving it a 91%. Like I said, I had a blast with this movie, and my aunt, who tagged along with me, went ahead and watched it herself, and even she enjoyed the film. She had a lot of fun with it. It is packed with good action. None of it is just because they threw it in there. No, everything in this movie has a significant purpose, and I'm glad that they went ahead and put that in there. The cinematography is just phenomenal, and like I said, the music really does pick it up a notch more, making it much more of a beautiful film. And since I have such a great time with this movie, I really do think that there's another significant character that I really did admire a lot, that I wish I would have seen more, but she's only within a certain sequence of the film, and her name is Paloma, played by Ana de Armas. And oh my god, man, she really kicked ass in this movie. And she's only within a good percentage of the movie, within a certain sequence. And I wish I could have gotten to see more of her. She would have been an excellent Bond girl. If anything, I would love to see more of her in her own spin-off movies. Because, like I said, she really kicked butt. Not only is she beautiful, but she seemed very talented. I haven't seen her in any other projects. But getting to see her in this, I wouldn't mind getting to seeing a spin-off movie series of this Paloma character, and with Ana de Armas playing that character. And I don't know, I just had fun with her. She did not seem annoying to me. I did not feel bored by her. Even though, like I said, even though she's a very beautiful woman, I wasn't really attracted to, who she was physically, but more professionally, and I wanted to see more of her. I wish we would have seen more of her later on in the movie, but she was only within in particular sequence of the film, during an action sequence as well, but I enjoyed it everywhere through and through. So that's going to be my review for No Time to Die, everybody. What did you guys think? Have you checked out this movie just yet in theaters? It is out in theaters right now, everybody, and I encourage everyone to go check it out. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section at the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews on YouTube and on Facebook. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate everybody helping me out and supporting me on this channel, because it is a personal hobby of mine, and I love sharing it amongst all of you wonderful viewers out there. So once more again, everyone, I am Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.